Why? Why do you know this? Forget how. Why?
I have approximate knowledge of many things.
With that big head? I don't doubt it.
Yes.
Proximate? Proximate? Really?
Yes.
Really? Not universal. Not universal.
Collected a wealth of knowledge.
In the 90s and early 80s, it was easy to be shocking. Like if you go back to like those early...
Yeah.
If you go back to those early episodes of South Park, for example, like back in the day, they were, South Park, it's so shocking, etc. And like you go back in the day, like, man, this was like very milquetoast.
No, to be honest, I just rewatched their movie, the first one.
The movie was on purpose.
It still holds up, to be honest.
I
loved it.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not funny. I'm like saying hindsight being what it is.
Yeah.
It's not as shocking, and it's more of an indictment of that culture back in the day. I'm like, this and professional wrestling, we were like, this is the degeneration of American values and etc. I'm like,
yeah, but you got to keep in mind, people were very square back then. Now, shock value is something that you're, what's the word, desensitized to?
No, what's shocking now is saying, you know what? I believe in God and I want to have a family and children. That's what's shocking. That's what's shocking to people nowadays.
True.
Morals? Code,
yes.
Yeah.
Religion?
I challenge you, Turks. Name one TV show right now that has a white American person who is openly religious, has a family and children, and who's not secretly a monster. Name one.
We can't find one.
There's this interesting... how can I say it?
But that defeats your argument, by the way. There's nothing worth value in that character from an entertainment standpoint. But you're talking about shock value.
I'm getting to my broader point here, is that the idea here is that what used to be the culture is now the counterculture. That's the interesting point here, is that if you have, there's a rise, I see, in quote-unquote right-wing influencers, specifically in America, who are basically advocating, have children, get married, etc. And like they're vilified by the media as, I don't know, like fascists, religious fundamentalists, etc. And the turn of the culture is fascinating to me. It's like, okay, the pendulum has swung back and it's in the process of swinging back at this point.
It's going to keep swinging. But how far will it swing? That's the question. Sorry, I'm getting very Shamsi.
It's a seat.
Yeah, it's a seat, definitely.
Don't worry about that.
If you start mispronouncing things, this is when we were...
Kill me. Before it gets worse, please. Just kill me.
Before the disease spreads. But to your point, don't you feel like that because like that way of life became so normal that, like in terms of TV and like in movies and shows and shit, like they wanted to bring in more shock value so they can have more people watching.
That's the whole idea.
Yeah. So like right now, having a good family is not good TV. So now it's like when you see like all the dramas that we have around here, there's no drama about good values. All the drama here is like all ridiculous, stupid drama that doesn't even make sense. And TV is turning into that. It's giving you some of the weirdest thing in the world for you to watch and say, what is this weird thing?
It's like there's a TV show called MILF Mansion. It's a reality show.
Mansion or Manor?
Whatever. It's
Manor.
like
why do you guys know?
The Manor.
I saw it on.
I saw it on John Oliver
tonight.
Yeah, on John Oliver. Basically.
Okay.
This is a TV show, Turks. A reality TV show. It's a dating show.
Oh, I heard about this. Hold up. Yeah, I saw it on IG. Yeah.
Where young guys try to date older women, and we're talking like 40s, 50s.
No, you're talking about 50s plus.
Hey, I'm trying to be generous, yeah.
No, why be generous?
I don't know. I'm diplomatic.
Because the show, it says that. She's like 54 years old.
Yo.
The twist this season, Turks, because apparently that wasn't novel enough last season.
Yes, the vibe wasn't there.
What was the vibe before?
The original vibe was these young men hooking up with these old women, right?
That's it.
Yes, that's it.
And like not cougars, right? Like, you know, like
old.
With kids and
pensions.
Retirement. Yes, I was going to say retirement.
All right, then.
Yeah.
The twist this season, Turks, is that, okay, we have the young men. Let's bring their dads as well. Competition.
What?
Yes. So the person, this young man she's dating, she's also gonna date his father at the same time.
Hey yo. Hey.
This is wild. This is nasty. Again, shock value. TV that doesn't make any fucking sense for anybody. They just want people to see weird shit because people do not want to see regular things.
Yeah, people want to see the unfamiliar.
Yeah, to me, the two most horrifying things that I see is that the divorce courts / paternity courts that happen on TV.
Yeah.
And like, you claim that blah, 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 blah is the father. We did the DNA test and he is not the father. I'm like, who would agree to have that on live television?
Well, it's not real.
No,
They're all
I'm not,
paid actors.
no, I'm talking about the ones with an actual court, an actual judge, etc. We're not talking about like the reality.
We're talking about Judge Judy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Judge Judy was also like, I don't think it was real.
I believe it's like they pick and choose the actual cases. I think sometimes there's an agreement between those people that, okay, we're going to pursue this legal action in the court and we're not having this quote unquote agreement on the record and we're going to split whatever the settlement is.
Well, I can tell you why people agree to it. There's a little thing called money.
True.
And money is power in America. You offer someone money, he's willing to come and talk about his bullshit on TV. He doesn't care.
The other thing the other horrifying thing to me is Scared Straight.
I used to love Scared Straight.
Are you familiar with Scared Straight Turks?
Is that what I think it is?
Yeah, it is.
Basically, they get troubled teens and like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's have the children be intimidated by murderers.
Yes. I remember that one. Yeah.
It's like, oh wow, like
The only people that were scared were the parents watching those shows. I remember like in high school, they try to do that shit so many times. Like in public school, you always have a police officer from like, whichever city you're in, present at the school throughout the whole
year.
Yeah, like every day. If there's a school function, he is there. So like the whole school knows this officer, right? Because he's always there.
Officer Homeboy.
No. And those officers were the ones that try to show you like, oh, listen, if you go down this path, those officers were getting disrespected every single day. Okay, every single day.
That's so sad.
Right? So like they couldn't even win that argument by putting a cop at the school.
Like the fact of the matter is that you have a cop at the school. Like
It's crazy.
America is not a normal country.
Yeah. At the same time, you needed a cop at the schools.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. But it wasn't all the public schools. Like,
Yeah, like
the good counties, they were okay, but any other county, like, oh no, we need to put someone there. If there's a lot of immigrants, yeah, there's gonna have a lot of cops. Hey, welcome past the episode. Your boy Adam, what's happening? What's poppin'? Episode 265. I got the homie Turks on next to me. I got Thanos' thumb. I mean, number one.
hello.
Right there.
Hello.
It's your boy Adam. What's happening? What's poppin'? Episode 265. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Shout out to people listening to us. Shout out to people who are watching us on YouTube. We appreciate every single one of you.
Amen.
And we were talking about
the public school infrastructure in the United States.
That's
Because
what we're talking about.
we solved everything, so let's solve that at this point.
I think we should start like a little bit light, right? Entitled dropped a new track. Have you heard it?
I heard he dropped. I didn't hear it.
It's called the Jalsa Al-Ula freestyle.
Jalsa Al-Ula?
Yeah, Jalsa Al-Ula.
Interesting.
When he played this for me, he's like, I'm going to release this. I thought he already did. just to be very honest, right? But it's such a beautiful track, man.
Allah.
Got out Entitled.
فراسي دروب راسي فراسي دروب راسي راسي
Such a us beat.
كل من هب ودب سب وقال انتبه ترى الرجل ذا دجال هدى من هلا باله هي الهليم غبت عني لا تجيني الحين شوف ربك خيره مو كريم مربط نفسك مدمن هيروين واللي جابك قطعة من صلصال كيف انتقدها واخرتها انفصال ودي ابكي بس مش القطار لو انت الخط بحطك انتظار جناح لأنها مخ طار ما اسمع صوته لو انها انفجار أنا الحافي وانت لابس كدايس أنا الحافي من الله سترة دايم مالك سكن في قلبي ما انت بعايش بالي مفتن باللحم مع رايس جامعنا فرقنا جامعنا سالم من الدوم مع نفسي ما تفي ودي لو بس من راسها من النوم ولاقي القصر مرتب اشقل الربع معدل صدقني انا صام لا تسأل عن سومته الرالك دي بوليسي تجي بالريوز اشربها من ربي ذي مويته
His production is crazy.
ممتاز.
Oh, listen. Oh.
Oof. Entitled. Entitled. Of
This is beautiful.
This
is beautiful.
the respect and the sampling
Yes,
is
crazy.
ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Ridiculous.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. His production value is amazing.
This boy is special.
He is.
He's not chopping the sample up. Doesn't خلاص you forget about it. It's there. You listen to it. You respect it. You know what it is exactly.
It has cultural value.
مرة. I think he just found the sound.
Now,
Remember that sound we were talking about back in the day?
I want you to know,
Eh.
and everybody else, that this was done 2 years ago.
I remember hearing something.
Yes.
Something close to this.
This was 2
was-
years ago. So
this
just
was the one-
imagine what he's working on now. Look, I don't know if Entitled wants me to say this or not, but Entitled is going to, he has a couple of projects that he already wrapped up that he wants to just push it out.
Yeah.
And then there's a sound that he's been working on. I guess we just gotta wait and see.
Is this a teaser? Is this track a teaser to the sound?
There's another track that I will play you after this is done.
Oof, I can't wait. Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna play it right now for y'all. Then we're gonna just cut it out. I'm
Cut it
sorry,
out.
everybody. I am so sorry. I really apologize.
Play it.
But you know, my brother, bro. I need to protect
Screw
him.
you, listeners. Screw you.
You'll get the reaction at the end of it, all right?
The power of editing.
The power of editing. So, I think it was this one.
Yo.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think?
Yo.
And this is not even done yet.
It's crazy. Dude.
This is not even done yet.
مستحيل. Well, he found the sound خلاص. He found the sound.
He did.
بالنسبة لي, I'm trying to tame my reaction. So I don't
Bro, you should
tease the
see-
audience.
You should see my face when you
Fucking
played it for me the
ridiculous,
first time.
It's fucking ridiculous.
No, this is totally
I
different.
love this.
Listeners,
I love this so much.
Listeners, we just listened to something very special, and I said a lot of slurs.
In due time, inshallah, in due time, everybody's gonna be able to hear it. This is a fucking amazing track, and it wasn't even done. It's not even done. He still has some things he's working on. It's a 5-minute track, by the
Does it
way.
have a name? It doesn't have a name yet?
There's a name that he put on it, but it's again placeholder.
Okay.
It's just oh my god, so beautiful. I just can't wait for him to start showing that route, and
Oof.
for people to see that, because the quietness that he was on for a while, there was a lot of cooking in the studio.
واضح. مرة واضح.
Yeah,
I can see it.
While G's album is coming out soon,
Mhm.
there's a track on that. You will just fall in love with the way that Entitled creates a beat and how
Wallah?
he just builds it.
Dope.
It's
Dope.
beautiful
I can't
with
wait.
him and while G's on it. It is so beautiful. I just can't. Hopefully it's part of the track list. I can't remember. So shout out to the boys, shout out to G, shout out to Entitled.
Amen.
Which are all the
Amen.
best. And let's get on with the show. What's going on? What's popping? What's happening, boys? Good.
سالفة.
Nice.
شو
Amazing.
عندكم؟
I'm going to tell you this. Tomorrow is June 23rd. While you're listening to this, it is June 23rd.
Correct.
Do you know what is it? What's going to happen in Paris?
The elections.
No,
No, this is a trap.
it's not a trap.
No.
It is National Go Take a Shit in the River Day.
Allah.
Wait,
Allah.
what? Is that a
Such
thing?
a beautiful Parisian tradition.
خلصت العياد.
So Macron and the mayor of Paris
Mhm.
spent $1.5 billion to clean the river in Paris for the French for the Summer Olympics.
Cool.
that's being held in France in July.
Mm-hmm.
And so the water was always dirty. So
Yeah.
Macron said, him and the mayor, we will take a swim in it to prove to people
Yeah.
that it is a clean river now.
Yeah.
And then a hashtag came out in France saying, on June 23rd, go to the river and take a shit.
The
Yeah.
French.
And protesting. It's amazing.
Clean? No.
No.
Not today.
I like Macron. That's what killed Abdelhaim Hafez.
I am not joking, bro. When I saw that, I laughed. And it's a real thing. It's like all over social media.
No, let's book a flight.
No, but
Let's book a flight.
we're not going to make it in time. We're not going to make it in time, Turks.
Just load up on KFC and just go. Go.
I've been in the plane like this, just waiting to land. Just waiting to land.
The bathroom suite. No, I'll wait.
Diplomatic
I'll wait.
passport, so I need to go real quick. I got a state of an emergency to take care of.
An important.
Where's your river at? Get in the cab to the river. You just bounce.
Quick, any bottle of water. Quick, على طول.
The French.
Oh my
I hate,
God.
I hate them so much, honestly.
It's disgusting, but it's also hilarious, bro.
This is hilarious.
It's a very French thing, honestly.
Yeah, French protesting has always been different.
It's like
That's one way to put it. Yeah. They're
mean,
different. They'll protest anything.
it's a national sport at this point.
Yeah.
It's like we will raise the age of retirement 1 year. No, we will riot.
And they do. And they
Yeah,
do.
but at the,
Let me ask you a question. In the last 10 years, give me a wild guess how many riots and protests they had.
100.
I do not know the exact number, but I can tell you it's more than 10.
Yeah, it's like
Every single year.
I think every single year they had something to go protest and
yeah, it's
fight
the,
about.
it's the season and there's the off
You
season.
have 3-hour lunch breaks. What do you want?
Hey, we
What
want
do you-
5. We want
That's
5 hours.
ridiculous, dude.
It's when you have a state that has a very entitled populace and
That you created.
that you created. The what happens is that when you have a certain level of, how can I say this, iktifa,
Hey.
you find a lot of reasons to protest over dumb shit because you have everything that you need, supposedly.
Oh, white man syndrome.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have everything that you need, supposedly. You have all your rights, supposedly.
Mhm.
So I'm going to protest for more rights that I think I deserve.
Without any idea of how is it going to be paid for.
It's the idea here is that both the right and the left on France are basically saying, yeah, we're gonna do a lot of stuff, but they don't get into details of who's gonna pay for it.
Exactly. That's actually the French way of doing business and governing.
It's like the only
Didn't Macron just say, yo, I'm absolving the government?
there's context
What?
here. So Turks,
Yeah.
and again, listeners, when I say Turks, I mean audience.
Yes.
That's the cheat code here. When I
you.
say, hey,
Yes.
Turks, I am referring to...
I'm well aware.
Yes,
yeah.
because Turks is...
I am the audience.
unaware.
Because I don't talk on the podcast. I usually listen.
Yes.
You know? Yes.
So Turks, there's this thing called the European Union. You might have heard of it.
Mhm.
It has a parliament. And recently, a bunch of right-wing parties came out of nowhere and like, yo, we're here. We have a bunch of seats now. Listen to us. And the French National Front Party made big strides in that recent election. And they're angling for the presidency eventually. So Macron said, I'm going to do a big brain move. I'm going to dissolve the parliament, snap elections now.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea here, okay, you want a right-wing government? I'm going to show you a right-wing government. Let's see how they govern right now. So the idea here is that, okay, they govern poorly. So this is what's a preview of what you have if they win the presidency. Supposedly, that's the thinking.
So he dissolved the parliament just as a preview, just to prove a point?
So he called for snap elections. That's the term. Is that we will elect now and the right wing will probably win by a large margin. So they'll have a right-wing prime minister and he will fill the parliament with the right-wing people.
Who's Le Pen?
Le Pen isn't running for prime minister. She's going after the brass ring, which is the election in 7 years. They're
What? Sorry?
the brass ring.
Okay.
That's the term of the prize. But they're fielding a very young conservative who's
No, we're going to have to track back. Why is it a prize? Why? What is it?
the presidency of France.
They treat it as a prize?
I'm being metaphorical.
Yes.
I'm not
Okay.
literal.
Okay.
Because Le Pen is super right.
Yes.
she's worse than Donald Trump.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Worse than Boris Johnson.
Oof.
Yeah,
okay.
she's
Boris Johnson is
if
nice.
she comes in, she might dissolve the EU.
How huge is that comb over?
She's a right wing. Her pop was a right wing. Her pop was a hardcore right wing also.
Wallah.
Yeah, so if she comes in, she might actually take France out of the EU and that would dissolve the whole EU.
Yeah,
Interesting.
That's the
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a huge thing.
That's the running theme in a lot of these right wing parties. Like Muslims, we're not a fan, and EU, we're not a fan of that too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fun fact: the guy who's running as a right wing candidate for the parliament right now, basically the golden boy of the National Front, is the child of immigrants, and he has a Algerian grandmother. So,
But we don't care about that right now.
because
that's the vibe. Yeah, we're not going to pay attention. We just need to win.
Yeah, he looks good on camera. So خلاص, دفو.
Game of
Interesting.
fight.
The last time that this happened, you know what was the result?
What?
Brexit.
Uh-huh.
Literally same theme.
So we're gonna see Frexit.
Wow. Well, that sounds like a fizzy drink. I'll have a cherry Frexit with extra ice.
No, it's crazy in France right now.
So he's just doing this slap action just to prove a point. That's it.
Yes.
No, he
Basically,
also thinks he might win. He's just say, "Oh, you guys want those right wingers? You want that kind of attitude to be the country? Fine, well, let's have a snap election. If this is what you want, then that's what you get."
Yeah.
Oh.
As in a call. Like,
ايه حركات parents.
Yeah.
لا لا خليك معهم.
Exactly.
خليك معهم ما يحتاج تجي مع البيت.
Yeah, it's called
عيش عندهم خلاص هنا مبسوط انت مبسوط.
مو تضحك
خلاص.
yeah. Macron basically said, "You want right wingers? Okay, bet." This was
Yeah, that's stupid.
there is precedent to this because I think a few decades ago, the incumbent French president was Francois Mitterrand. Yes, that's his name.
Okay.
Wow.
He did the same thing, but with the far right, with the far left, like actual communists, and like we're gonna nationalize all the government, and they sucked, and they didn't figure out who's gonna pay for everything, which is a theme apparently, and no left wing party ruled France for since then.
So France is a shit show.
It's always
Literally,
been.
probably in the river.
Bro,
at
it's
some
the
point.
country that always says, we're about equality, democracy, whatever, and like every single year there's a new law against Muslims. So it's just a front. It's just a front.
معروف.
Yeah, shape of a government. Well,
So nothing new.
exactly. So fuck that.
Yeah.
Actually, crazier news than France is Bahrain. I don't know if you heard about it or not.
I think I did.
So the Bahrain Minister of Interior has started a committee to look at everyone who received citizenship in Bahrain since 2010.
Since 2010.
Since 2010. Because it was said that a lot of people since 2010 found a loophole where they can get citizenship in Bahrain. And a lot of people have exposed that loophole and found a way to get citizenship. Now, I know what you're asking.
Yeah.
Who wants a Bahraini citizenship? I know what you're asking. You don't need to tell me.
That
son.
wasn't what I was going to ask.
I know what you
but
want
go
to
on. Go on.
Go on.
Go on. You raise an interesting point. Ew.
Shout out to our brothers and sisters in Bahrain. We love you. خليجنا واحد.
Continue.
Because look at how many people want to live in an EU country just for them to have an EU access.
The hookup.
Exactly. And if you get a Bahrain citizenship, you are part of the Gulf states. You can come in as you want. You can start opening up businesses. You can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so they're looking into a lot of people, and they're going to be pulling citizenship from a lot of people that got it in illegal ways.
Interesting.
I think what I read
That's 14
was,
years.
Yeah, I think what I read was I think it's 1.25 million extra people since 2010.
That's a lot.
Yes.
That's almost unsustainable at this point. That's like half of Bahrain at this point or something.
No,
I could be wrong with the numbers, so like don't take it. Do your own research, yeah.
Yeah, please. Please.
Take phone.
What do you mean? Like Pasta Kapsa, the comedy podcast, is not a reputable source of information?
Nah.
No, don't say this. You're ruining my fantasy. I thought I was a hard-hitting journalist.
Yeah, we're hard hitting, but we're not journalists.
Yeah, listeners, they made fun of my head for like 15 minutes before we went live.
It was fun.
I didn't say anything this time. Okay, I did call
You
your
did.
head fat
You
or
did.
thumb.
Yeah.
I did.
Yes.
But this is the asshole that said the headphones on your head look like Spider-Man.
No,
Trying to stop that subway.
And you called my shadow of my head, you call it the Traveler from Destiny 2. That's a video game reference,
I
people.
forgot I did that.
With the light, it had a horizon. يا أخي عادي سوي.
Actually, the light bends around it.
It
actually,
does. It does.
because gravity works like that.
Going back to the point, the real question I wanted to ask Adil was, what was the loophole? Do we know the loophole? Did they tell us what the loophole
I
is?
think if I don't know what the loophole is. To be
Can we
honest,
still try the loophole?
you're already like a
I know.
like,
I'm
oh,
just asking for a friend. Adi.
Who's your friend? What does he- why does he need
anyone,
citizenship?
And anyone. This is information that you can sell.
It's in the news. You can't sell something that's already in the news.
Expired information.
It's not like I figured it out
Yeah.
and I brought it to the podcast.
Nobody knows. You post it on internet. You act like you figured it out. خلاص.
I think it's very crazy, bro.
That's half of YouTube.
That's half of YouTube. Anyway, off to other things.
Yeah.
I don't want to get so deep into this. I'm going to ignore this. Kendrick Lamar did a funeral for Drake that I think the whole world saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually like sponsored and
Yeah.
broadcasted by Amazon, which is also crazy.
We
Yeah.
just watched it. It was amazing.
It's like the world's second biggest corporation is dunking on you, Drake, at this point.
Someone said, "Does Amazon know it's showing a gangathon?" It was wild. It was wild. Again, it was covered in Juneteenth,
Mhm.
but at the same time, like we talked before,
It was
the
a
podcast,
celebration.
It was a celebration of if you want to fuck with the West Coast, we're all here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it was. It was only about Juneteenth.
West Coastنا واحد.
West Coast and They did say one coast,
Yeah,
one West Coast
they
or
did,
something.
they
They did. West Coast and That's amazing.
Uh,
But it was, look, if we go back from the time that Like That dropped,
Yeah.
we were here talking about, hey, we were looking forward to Kendrick against J. Cole.
Mm.
I was very loud in saying I don't care about Kendrick Drake because I never thought Drake ever stood a chance.
None.
And the way things flowed, it went that route. Like, I don't care. A lot of people want to dissect and say, do whatever you want. It's up to you. This is your own reason for you to like whoever you want to like. Just figure it out for yourself. But as someone that I love hip hop, I always saw that anyone who's deep into hip hop will actually see that Kendrick is going to be the winner in this. And that's what he did.
Mhm.
And then at the end of it, he was like, you know what? I'm going to show y'all also how much I won by
Victory lap.
doing a pop out in a stadium where people can come enjoy everything with me. And he
Sure.
brought in everybody. Everyone that was in LA came out to represent LA. Everybody that was in California came out to represent California. And
Hip hop artists, producers, basketball players,
Gangsters.
everyone.
bringing
Everyone.
Bloods, Crips, and Pyrus on stage all together, take a picture with you. We discussed this before. I told you, if Drake loses Atlanta because of Future and loses California, it's going to be a big problem for him.
This is the best election the news I've ever seen.
Right? And this is what Kendrick did. Kendrick showed him, you are not welcome here.
Mhm.
And every gang set doesn't want you here. Everybody in LA doesn't want you to be there. He literally kicked you out of a whole state. You
Oof.
can't function in anymore.
Oof.
Will he ever be back and be able to function? I don't know. But the way he attacked him using cultural values and then bringing the city also along to say, we stand on this.
How many times did they play it not like us?
Like 5 times,
times.
6 times with the outro when they were walking out.
It is fucking ridiculous.
And every single time it was beautiful.
It is fucking. But every single time the audience was singing. The audience. Kendrick didn't have to say a word.
This is, I've never seen. Anyway, Drake is back to posting on Instagram with his like lame shit. So I don't know.
What? He did?
Yeah, he's just posting like lame shit. Him being having friends and shit and being a good father.
It's like those
Swear to God, bro.
yeah, it's like those people who get like torn up and their replies on Twitter and like they tweet the next thing, "Hey, we should have a dinner," as if they weren't bothered by what they posted and they got destroyed a few hours ago. Hey, ما همني. I'm like,
أصلا عادي.
اصلا هي بالضبط اصلا عادي ما زعلت ما في شيء زعل اصلا.
I was discussing the pop out with someone, and he was asking me like to give it to him in terms of our cultural values, because a lot of people when they see it, they're not really understanding it. Because you need to understand, like hip hop, if you live in the States, hip hop is a totally different thing than when you live outside the States.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never been in the States and actually lived it and like embraced it and saw it for what it is, you really will not understand the breakdown of certain things. And so, like I put a post of that picture when everyone was taking pictures together. I said culture and unity, because that's what it was. It was culture, because that's a West Coast culture.
Mhm.
They came together for it, and they were united as a united front in front of everybody
True.
else. And someone was asking me, he's like, "Hey, like we can replicate that here." I'm like, "No, you cannot replicate that here."
We don't have Pyros and Crips في
Even,
البديعة.
it's not even about that. Even if it's just about having a crew of people. Over there, you're attached to people by blood, by values, by morals, by struggles. Here, you don't have that. Here, the only thing equivalent to it is our tribes. When I go back to my tribe, I have the people that always stand for me, always have my back, right? Here, you don't have a lot of friendships that do that, because a lot of people did not grow up together and actually form something, and there was some sort of thing that like made them bond together. It's very rare to have that here.
True, shared struggles are
Strong.
less here. Yeah, but they're way less to find here.
Way less.
Yes.
And so
Maybe it's our bubble, but yeah.
I don't know if it's our bubble, to be honest,
I
because I think like we were all like tribes, so it's always been
It's
within
always
the
family.
tribe.
Yeah, you always had your family. That's the thing. The people you shared the struggle with was the family.
Mm.
It's not the friends.
Exactly.
It depends. I think it depends, because again, like I want you to imagine a bunch of circles within circles. So the big circle is the country itself, and the deeper you go, you have closer affiliations with the people inside each circle. So I think you can make an argument at this point that certain parts of Riyadh, for example, have their own distinct cultures, their own distinct affiliations. The
True.
north is bougie, for example.
Yeah, but they're not going to come together and say, "Yeah, we're bougie." That's the difference here.
Again,
It's not a good flex.
yeah.
It's not about being a good flex. Like, there's no part in Riyadh where the whole area will just stand up and say, "Yo, this is who we are, and we stand on this." That doesn't exist here.
True, because that has more of a reflection about the culture of privacy in general. here.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah,
is
but-
why he was saying it's usually within your family.
Yeah.
You don't take it out. So you can't really replicate something like this.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make here is that there is at least an external perception of that quote unquote affiliation, if that makes sense.
Look, when you said on a country level, I'm 100% with you. On a country level, we're always down.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what it is. We're always 10 toes down. We're ready to go for on whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so that we will not even debate, because that's a fact. But when you break it down lower than that, it turns into a little bit of divisions based on culture, cultural values, and a lot of different things. But it always comes back to when you're down, your family, your tribe are the ones who usually have your back.
Yeah, true. But again, it's what are we defining here when it comes to the affiliation? If it's just like actual يد بيد ونساعد بعض, fine. But I'm saying a shared identity, shared perception, shared set of quote unquote values, perceptions, ideas. You can have that to varying levels of intensity, so to speak. So, for example, I would say, like I said, there is a certain perception of that region of Saudi Arabia, for example, versus that region, or that city versus that city. That part of that city versus that part of the city. It might not be interconnected insofar as that the actual people solidify on that fault line, لو صح التعبير. But there is a certain agreement, and we share that affiliation. It might not be a active and promoted thing, but it's there in the background.
That's the right word, active.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not active. It's if there's a call out for us to do something, we'll do it. But it's not like, yo, we're coming to get. Look, I look at it in the same way I look at the creative industry. This is why I told you it doesn't exist. In the creative industry, you have like different nationalities and different people coming working on projects, right? Or creating their own thing. They will not stand together against something that is bothering the creative community. They just won't do that. They'll stand up for themselves or what they believe in, but they will not come together and say, hey, we feel like we're being used and abused here. We need some changes to be made, and we do not want to be associated to these other people because those things do not represent us, and we would like our voices to be heard. We don't have that. That's what I'm talking about. I'm giving you a small example. Like, let's go to music. Everybody in music, it's the same exact thing. No one is going to come together and say, hey, we're a unit. This is what we believe. We should do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, everybody that's into music is the same way everybody's into creative. They're in it either to be the big boss or to make the most money or to be the home of creativity or the home of music. No one is actually trying to bring people together where everybody is aligned. You have your own personal things you're going on, but we're all aligned on something that will help all of us grow. You do not have that.
Yeah, because people treat it like a competition, not so much
Exactly.
as a shared culture.
And when you look at Kendrick Lamar and everybody that he has on stage, all those people are competing with each other, but they know to come together when they need to come together to build something bigger for themselves. That's the big difference here.
أنا أخوي على ولد عمي ولد عمي أنا ولد عمي على الغريب.
Exactly. هنا أنا وأخوي ولد عمي, so we didn't get there yet.
أنا.
Exactly. We're still there. It's about me. Everybody wants to be the best. Everybody wants to be the number one guy. And there's another issue of it. It's like you see a lot of people that want to be in the same place these other people are, and they're willing to bend over backwards, even on their morals and codes, to be part of that.
But that's something new to us. That's something new to our culture. We've always been following the whole like community. What do you call it? Trying to help the entire community rather than helping yourself. That's something that I see with the younger generation. Something that I see with the new creatives that we see. But back in the day, it was just like we said before. On a country level, we're down.
100%.
Yes, you go down. برضو نفس الشيء. The smaller the circle gets, the nearer the enemy becomes, basically.
Sun Tzu Turks here.
No,
Yes.
we don't unite on things that can make us better.
Yeah, I would make the argument is that the further back you go in the creative industry, like we're talking like decades back, when being an artist wasn't something that was even conceivable as a career. In that time, there was a certain sense of isolation because it was literally you against the world. So I think we're seeing some of the trickle down effects of that.
But that community back in the day had each other's backs.
Yeah. They all knew each other.
Yeah.
You'll see an old video in the 70s of Muhammad Abdu and you see Talal Maddah next to him.
Yes.
know,
musicians. You're talking about comedians.
Yes.
Look at
Everybody was
Taj
around
crew.
each other.
Everyone.
Back then, they could make money together because they need to survive together.
Yes.
Right now, people see a lot of opportunities and they're telling themselves how much I can take out of those opportunities for myself.
So it's like the Wild West is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's been like the Wild West. And same way, yesterday I was having a conversation with Abu Fahad about business, right? And I was like, name me a company, right, that became really big in Saudi that is not tied to someone or someone else who's a billionaire. Give me a company that came out of nothing and no billionaire put his hand on it to make it grow bigger.
You can say that about a lot of companies here, not just in the creative industry.
I'm talking about in business here. I'm not
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
industry.
yeah. That's absolutely. It's like, here's the thing. Specifically with that is,
Unless you're OG, you can't find one. Yeah.
That's a fact.
Specifically with that, there's sort of a continuing bias here is that people won't touch you if they know you're not, I don't know, vouched for by the big boys.
If you don't have a legacy. We
If you-
discussed this off podcast.
Yeah. So, which is interesting to have on this podcast, is that let's say I am listener number one, venture industries, whatever, and I have a product or service that I want to provide, and I'm looking for funding. People won't look at me or give me the time of day if they think I'm just here on my own trying to make a name for myself, because they think it's a high risk investment, high risk, potentially no return.
Yep.
But if they say, "Oh, I have so and so, blah blah blah,
Backing me up.
and he has put in I don't know, like 50 million in seed capital up front," people are more receptive to engage with me.
Exactly. You're vouched for.
And that's a real issue because you can only grow to a certain limit and then you will need to be vouched for. You will need an OG, right? But we can look at this in every single sector. It's the same issues, bro. And like when I watched that and I put the post, a lot of people were like texting like, "Oh, what do you mean? Are you talking about this? Are you talking about that?" And I'm looking at like people's messages and stupid shit. I'm like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. Like, you look at a picture, you can't understand it. There's a reason why you can't understand it. And there's a reason why I could understand it.
Yeah, they're standing too close to the picture. You're standing back
Exactly.
and seeing the whole picture.
Like, I know what is going on when I look at that picture because I know that lifestyle. I've been in it. But a lot of people look at it, they think, yo, these just like, these guys just coming in together just to send a message. No, it's not only about sending a message. This is like way bigger than a lot of things that people can actually understand. But
Much bigger message.
it's a much bigger message. At the same time, I do not believe, and I said this like 100 times, like I really do not believe in our creatives. I don't. I believe our creatives are going to go to a certain point and then they're going to keep hurting each other over and over again. There's going to be no sustainable growth for creatives. And now with the introduction of AI and everything else that's happening, they are becoming more hurt.
Yeah.
And they're going to be even more selfish. And they're going to try to take as much as a pie for themselves. Why? Because the competition is hard now. And so if you don't come together and build something where all of you can stand together, you're never going to have anything. It's always going to be like, oh man, Smith Flan got this. Oh, he must be connected. That's why he got that deal. That's how it's going to work. That's how it works today. Every time you hear about someone getting something, everyone asks, yo, who's the connect?
Yes.
Because no one believes that you can do it on your own. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy outside. It's crazy.
Who do you know? It's all about who do you know. But how do you solve it?
Though my question here,
I really just explained it a second ago.
Yeah.
You need to come in together and be one. Be one fucking voice.
Unionize?
You need to unionize. All of you, if one company is saying I'm offering this to this guy and that to that guy, and all of you agree, in order for all of us to grow together, we need all to make sure that all of us get the same numbers.
Yeah.
Then all of you can come together and say no.
yeah, but
We're not going to accept
You
that.
know what that sounds like?
Sounds like what?
The
Union?
artist union. Yeah.
yeah, but
But I don't want to make it official. Right? Making it official is a problem.
yeah, but here's the thing that requires a level of transparency that even in any other industry, people would be hard.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you 100%.
Like, let's say I am artist X, and I got X number, which is a big number for an art piece, and like people are asking me, hey, how much did you get for that number? Like, I got X. I'm like, what do you mean? I got literally 1/10 of that. So that in and of itself is a risky proposition. It's like, oh, this guy, he has the connect and he gets the money. And so you've opened up another can of worms with that level of transparency. Aslan.
Even so, before even transparency is trust. Nobody trusts each other. Because I was super transparent on this podcast and off the podcast with a lot of people. And what I say is coming straight out of my heart, whether it's nice, it's harsh, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I make it very transparent for people about what's really going on. So people don't say, oh, I was tricked into something or I was told something that wasn't real. And even when you're being transparent, you know what happens?
People get in their feelings.
Why is he being transparent? Or what's his gain here?
Yeah.
What he's trying to get out of being honest and transparent.
Trust is something that's so hard to find when you're out there trying to do it on your own.
100%.
Because that's how you view yourself. You view yourself as the lone struggling artist. So everyone is a snake oil salesman. That's a saying, right? Snake oils.
Yeah, snake oil salesman. Yes.
Correct.
And they're also being snake oil salesmen by themselves without
Of
even
course.
them knowing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You gotta blend in.
Look, I don't want to say this. Actually, I'm just going to ignore that whole fucking thought that just came into my head. But
Good.
I think do more of that. Do
please,
more.
please.
Tekfa.
Yeah.
Thoughts are bad.
It just hurts.
true.
It just hurts. Like, you see a lot of beautiful, passionate people that can do great things, that we can make it stand out. But everybody is in everybody's way just because they believe that they should be the one. I don't understand. Like, maybe whatever you're trying to sell me, this doesn't work for me. How about that? How about it doesn't work for me? How about this worked for me and this doesn't? It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's just, this is what worked for us. Why does it have to be that someone is connected or someone, and all this bullshit that happens behind the scenes?
Because here's the thing, people link their self-worth to their work. If I am being rejected, that means I am not a worthy person. I've wasted my time, my effort, my youth, in some cases, for something that is not appreciated.
Okay, cool. then it's okay for you to lie?
What's a lie here in this scenario?
he's lawyered up.
What is even a lie?
Define a lie.
We've been watching people posting this CEO that we all don't care for and saying, thank you for the amazing work that you did.
But is nifaq اجتماع, is that lying? I mean, I have to be honest. يا عادل, يعني, if I am being politically correct,
Yes.
is that lying or just a lie of omission?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking for your
It's
opinion.
a pure
I mean-
lie. It's a pure lie when all of you in my DMs telling me how much you hate this guy. And then all of you are putting his pictures up and saying, thank you for the hard work. The hard work that never really existed.
I'm conflicted about this because that sounds like survival tactic more than anything.
It is survival tactic.
Yes. So I can't really fault them for that per se.
Well, if you can't really fault them, sir, then
I'm
you're
playing
not going to be
devil's advocate
able
here.
to fault them in anything else. Because you're going to say they're just trying to survive.
Again, it's
So when they lie, when they cheat, when they bullshit, when they spread rumors, when they make up
spreading
things,
rumors is a different thing. Spreading rumors.
when they do all of that, it's always going to be like, oh, they just tried to survive.
No. There's a difference between being politically correct and just, I don't know, like
You know what's politically correct?
what?
You didn't have to put that post.
True.
You didn't have to.
That's my method in most cases. If I have nothing nice to say, I won't say anything at all.
Thank you.
Correct.
If you believe in your own product, you should not be kissing everybody's ass. You should believe in your product, and you believe your product is going to make it with or without these other people that are temporarily here. They're not permanent. They're not going to build you to the future. They're just a stepping stone to something else. So if you do not even believe in your own shit, you're going to start ass kissing.
Yeah, but my point here is being an ass kisser a moral failing?
Well, that would depend. Because I'm so heated about this conversation, I will tell you every ass kisser is an asshole right now. Like I would,
True, but
I would bluntly tell you they're all a bunch of losers.
Yeah, but again, there's a difference between being an ass kisser and being actively malicious. Is what is the line I want to draw here. Like you mentioned, spreading rumors. And
There's a difference.
there is a difference. You mentioned about actively lying or actively cheating somebody out of something. Again, it's levels of badness here. It's like being an ass kisser is just like, I don't know, cringe, call it hypocritical, call it whatever, but I can't really call it harmful at this point. It's when you reach what you're ass kissing for, that shows your true character, I think.
I think it shows your character when you're championing someone that's a lie. When you're ass kissing someone that doesn't deserve it, and we all know he doesn't deserve it, and you're telling people behind the scenes that he doesn't deserve it, it makes me look at you different.
Yeah, that's selling of your character.
Exactly. And I'm looking at all their characters. If all you could have just stayed quiet. None of you needed to put a post and give out this bullshit. None of you needed to. But you guys decided to make that decision collectively. And every single one of you told someone that we know, or me personally, about how you really feel. I don't look at you as someone trying to survive. I look at you as a liar. Because if you had self-belief, you'd do it on your own. You know you can make it on your own. Why is it that I have to ask kiss every single person that comes along the way in order for me to grow? If my business is supposed to survive 100 years, I should have a strategy that can make me survive 100 years. And it should not involve me ass kissing random people that I don't like.
Turks.
Yep.
من أين تؤكل الكتف؟
من اليمين.
من أين تؤكل الكتف؟
من اليمين.
Say it in English so people understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, we have a saying in Arabic. We ask somebody, or when people look at an ass kisser or a suck up, they say he knows from where to eat the shoulder meat.
Bite the shoulder.
Bite the shoulder.
Not eat the shoulder.
Eat the shoulder.
Cannibal.
Yeah, shoulder of a sheep, not a person. So because the idea here is that if you eat from it the wrong way, the meat falls off the bone and it gets messy. So there's a technique. That's your Arabic culture minute, listeners.
Anyway, it's disgusting.
Shoulder meat is delicious. How dare you?
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. All right, and you're just hungry.
I'm always hungry. That's a problem. I'm always hungry.
We can't talk about culture and unity when we never even stopped to actually get one. We've all been very full. None of us are hungry. Why? Because we look at shortcuts. Every person that I know that's actually trying to build a brand has been very quiet. You know why? Because they're working on their brand.
True.
They're working on their projects. They're working on the work that they have.
Mm.
Everybody else that can't make it, you're watching them so loud on Instagram.
Oof.
Extremely loud.
Confidence is quiet.
I look at Vogue magazine differently than I ever did before. Because at first I'm like, Vogue magazine, none of my business, not my style. I don't know what it is. How does it move culturally? I don't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I watch the same losers over and over again, Vogue does not give two shits who these people are. They're the people that are available. They are the people that are considered popping, even though they're all just like one clique to hang out with each other. None of them are important. None of them have any cultural impact.
They have good optics.
None of them move the needle. No one said, yo, oh, look at this guy. I want to be like him.
Mm-hmm.
No one has said anything. But those same losers put it up on Vogue. They put the posters up and the pictures up saying, oh, look where I'm at. And I sit here looking at it. I'm like, yo, if this was your dream, congrats. But let's be very honest here. You do not deserve this shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. You just don't. You just don't. You didn't do anything. I don't know who you are. I only see you on a couple of posts of the same 5 entities that we have that keep posting about you 5 guys. You can giggle if you want. I can see you giggling. It's all good. But you know it's the truth. And so like I sit here and I'm watching a bunch of liars being supported by other people that are also liars. And then I have to sit there and look at our magazines and be like, oh, go on, champ. You made it, champ.
But those same 5 guys, Adil,
They got burger place? No, sorry.
Yeah. They struggled against social challenges and difficulties.
Oh, they don't know how to put clothes on?
They struggled. Vague struggles, but there are struggles apparently.
No, there is a culture of if you kiss my ass, I will give you everything possible. As long as you're loyal to my ass, I'll be more than happy to make sure that you're in places where people can see you.
Oh, it's an ass that commands loyalty.
Hey man, if y'all like kissing ass, it's all on y'all, but I will look at you differently. I cannot champion the same people that I saw before. I just can't. I've been unfollowing people from past the caps. I've been unfollowing people from my own personal account. I just can't have it. Like I got to a point that I cannot be part of this fake ass system that everybody wants to be a part of. And everybody can look at me in any way, shape, or fucking form you want to look at me. Because you need to understand, I never cared from the beginning about people's opinions, and I'm not going to start today. So it's been the same vibe with me.
True, but this is there's a new spike in that in that feeling. Was that triggered by Kendrick and Drake?
No. This y'all know this.
Authenticity battle.
You know this has been going on.
I know it's been going on
for
a while.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
Even more.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
Even more.
We never really brought it to public.
True.
We just try to handle behind the scenes. I was trying to fix things behind the scenes so it doesn't look so messy.
Yeah.
But people are stupid. And since people are stupid, I'm not going to sit and champion everywhere else with everybody else. I just can't do that. I can't lie to myself like everybody else lying to themselves.
Adil, the master of subtlety.
So subtle. So subtle.
So subtle.
subtle.
I have to analyze his words. I don't know what he means.
It's not about knowing what I mean. Whatever I'm saying here, I said it in private.
True.
Whatever.
I can attest to this.
Yeah,
listeners.
and I've said it to also those people, and I told them how I feel about what they're doing, how they're moving.
I was there, listeners, when they call feelings, listeners.
And some people, bro, I met this kid weeks ago, and it's this dude that I know, and that some of the boys know also. And I was saying hello, and this dude didn't even move like near me, like he just like ignored my existence. I'm like, well, what the fuck is going on? So I went like, yo, what's good, bro? What's happening? He's like, I'm sorry, man. I thought we had beef. I'm like, why would I have beef with you? What you do in life has nothing to do with what I do in my entire life. Not from podcasting, not from personal, nothing. Like, there's nothing in common between me and you for us to hate each other.
Correct.
And he was like, oh, no, because I hang out with these dudes, and these dudes say they have beef with you. And I was like, can you please tell your friends to tell me? Because I did not know. No one communicated that to me.
Oof.
I do not know that people have problems with me. But I know what the problems are. Because when he mentioned the names, I know these small little people. I know them. I know these small little acts. I've talked to them before. So when I heard that, I'm like, cute. I was like, you tell your little buddies to actually come and talk to me. Because I'm on my man shit. If I said something behind the scenes, I will say it to your face. I don't hide my feelings. And if what I said wrong, you have the right to tell me, yo, you were wrong, and explain yourself. And I'll be more than happy to apologize if I was fucking wrong. But I know I was 100% right. So when you told me that, I caught some sort of like, yo, why would you have problems with me when me and you don't even communicate? I just see you online.
Yeah, you do not exist in the same stratosphere as each other.
Exactly. So you should not be having any feelings toward me. Even if I said, yo, fuck you, you should call me up and say, yo, why'd you tell me that? And I'd be like, yo, did I say that? If I did, my bad. If I didn't, fuck you. I'm just trying to make sure, just to plan it properly.
Yeah,
right?
He says that in the voice of Urkel. Did I do that?
I still love that 50 Cent clip. What do you say fuck me for?
And listeners, this is Adil 24/7.
So, yeah, but when I saw that, I saw people asking questions. I'm like, y'all just do not get it. Y'all will never come together and be a unit. You can lie to each other from here till tomorrow, but you'll never be a unit. You have a couple of people in your squad that are making it, and they're not opening no doors. They're actually closing their business doors down and making you stay on the outside and just look in and just drag you in whenever they need you.
It's climbing out of the pit and pulling the ladder up with you.
Exactly. And a lot of people don't see that. People, they know they're living in a lie, and they're accepting that lie, and they're pushing that lie forward. But if we're talking about we need a different generation to move the needle forward, and we thought it's going to be this generation that's been working because the old generation already lost their chance, which when they came, that old generation came with morals and values.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
Trying to move it forward. And then you losers who have the chance to move forward, you're looking at it as money. How much money and power that I can take out of this? So the people who paved the way and who still guide you till today, you're not even appreciating them. Because you're trying to take from the culture. You're not trying to add to the culture. And we are living between people who just keep taking from the culture. And we're all quiet about it. We're all fine about it. We are not saying a single word. Why? Because for exactly how y'all going right now. Y'all know that some people are going to catch fucking feelings, thinks it's about them, and none of us want to be in a place say, yo, it was about you. None of us want to do that. Like, we actually wish that everyone would succeed in their own way for us to just sit here, clap, and support. But over the last 2 years, that hasn't been the scene at all. The first 2 years of Past the Capsule, we were doing nothing but support.
True.
And then we noticed that a lot of people didn't deserve that support. They were moving hella weird. And so we start pulling back some of our support so we don't look hella weird that we're just supporting randos and saying they're going to be amazing when they don't do shit.
Correct.
And so when we pulled it back, everyone's like, oh, y'all are changing. Oh, I just not opening up that support like he used to. Support who, bro? Some of the people I supported back then don't even exist today.
It's again, it's that old cliche that I keep bringing up on the show. It's not about what you've done. It's about what you've done recently.
Mm-hmm. You keep bringing that up.
I do.
And we still don't care. I'm sorry.
True.
I care.
I'm sorry.
I care.
I'm sorry.
I care.
Oh my God.
I always care.
Anyways, cultural unity is something that it's gonna be extremely difficult with the current climate.
True.
And the current state of creativity and art and everything else. Don't let people lie to you and say you have a fucking chance. You don't. None of these CEOs believe in you. We said this 100 times before.
You're just
a lot
a
of
KPI
people.
to them.
Exactly. You're just a KPI. That's all you are. Believe in yourself. Work on yourself. Build your own. We said it a couple episodes ago. Build your own fan base. Focus on yourself. This is what you should be doing. And if you don't know how that looks like, I would advise you to take a peek at Jeddah real quick. Look at the skateboard that happened last weekend. Just look at what unity is. Go look at VOD. Look at Rex and everybody else around them.
Mm-hmm.
Those are people that were not waiting for you. They were not here asking people. They were not here begging people for work. They know they were putting in work for themselves and for the love that they have for things.
Yeah, look at Sultan Galag. He's doing his own thing and getting 200 hours in Elden Ring, so he can multitask. He can multitask.
By the way, when he called me yesterday, I was like, listen, I'm like, this whole week, I'm like, yo, where's my guy? I haven't heard from him in a minute. And then when he sent me that picture, it's like he's been playing for like 90 days. I'm like, yo, my God, I'm sorry. By the way, this was all in 1 week.
I was there. I was convincing him. I'm like, Sultan Galag, trust me, you'll click. And boy, did it click.
No, shout out to Galag, bro. All the hard work he does behind the scene, also for community, for everything. Galag doesn't speak. Galag does work. You know, Herbalat doesn't speak because. Can we all agree that Kamal is like a watched down, watered down? Like, anyway, never mind. So, I love you, Kamal. Love you, Kamal. Don't be scared. Anyway, like what a lot of people are doing in Jeddah is community based more than anything else. They have their own problems. Yes, there's like rumors of like dramas happening, but everybody has drama.
Yeah,
but the message is one.
Drama.
Yeah, the message is one. Everybody always stood by that message. But you know, it is what it is. We can't be championing losers, y'all. We can't be championing people that do not care about everyone else. And we can't be championing CEOs who are, I'm not going to say because y'all going to figure it out real quick, but there's a couple of CEOs that I look at them weird on Instagram. It's really weird. But, you know, it is what it is. It's none of our business. Anyways, thank you for joining us. We appreciate y'all. Can we all go home? I mean, can y'all go home?
Please, yes.
We out?
Peace.
Peace. By the way, if anyone's asking about Champs, we don't care.